in the bottom. Your best choices here are troll or pole-caught black rockfish or blue rockfish. Those species are actually doing much better because they move around in a pelagic environment. So this is one of those things that if you eat fish, no matter if it's rockfish or something else, you can use this. You can support organizations that are making a difference. The SeaDoc Society is doing a huge thing. And I love about SeaDoc Society is that they don't focus just on marine mammals or the streams or pollution or rockfish or crabs. They do it all. And this year they actually hosted a conference for a variety of different agencies that got us all together because you guys are working on this research over here and you guys are working on this research. They put us all in a room together so we could collectively kind of talk about what's going on, and we're working on it. We're always making advances, and this is one of those things that really helps. I know it seems so simple, but just put the bodies in the room sometimes. And if for those of you scuba divers out here that raised your hand a little bit earlier, monitoring these populations is really key. And you don't need to be a scientist and go to college and have a 5-year degree to go ahead and do all this stuff. If you're a scuba diver, you can take a class with this reef organization. You can go out and you can do your own surveys. They train you how to do it. They train you how to identify the animals. And what you do is from the data that you gather, you can actually upload that to a database online from your own home. And then scientists and researchers will use that data to figure out how things are going. And that's a great way to be part of a citizen science program. Facilities like mine in Point Defiance and the Seattle Aquarium, we actually have collaborated together to work on a long-term monitoring project because, again, these populations vary a little bit year on year based on recruitment, and we want to see how things are going. Are they stabilizing or are they getting worse? We've gotten together where we actually take underwater film, and we have these special masks that we can talk underwater. So while we're filming, we're also calling out the species that we see. Black rockfish, black rockfish, brown, copper, quillback. That way we're getting a video log of the species and how abundant they are in the habitat, and then which species that we're seeing over time. And we've picked up a way to do this so that we're not duplicating ourselves. Seattle Aquarium is out in the coastal areas around Neah Bay. They're monitoring 5 separate sites out there. Also Bainbridge Island. In Tacoma, we've got 2 spots down there. Both of them are preserves. One is a natural reef and one is an artificial reef. And so we're kind of looking at those to see if there's a difference on how well those animals do over time. And then the Oregon Coast Aquarium is monitoring sites off of Newport, Oregon. And so collectively, we hope to actually add to the data available for these guys. So this is a loose quote from the movie, geez, now I lost it. Right, thank you. Somebody's paying attention. Good Will Hunting, you dropped $150,000 on an education that you could have got for $1.50 in late charges at the public library. If you're not a scuba diver, if you don't work for one of these organizations, and you're not a scientist, but you still want to learn about them, I can tell you firsthand that when I graduated college, I didn't have a class on how to identify rockfish, the species of rockfish. So these are some of the books that are available through any of the online resources, your local bookstores, your libraries, and they're full of great information. Coastal Fishes on your bottom right is Andy Lamb. He just lives on Vancouver Island, actually on Thetis Island. You can go to his house, he'll be a naturalist. Book on the bottom left, nothing but rockfish in that book. It's a little sciencey, but it's good. And the one on the top left is called Certainly More Than You Wanted to Know About the Fishes of the Pacific Northwest. And this is by Dr. Milton Love, who's one of my favorite authors. You will just be reading this book laughing like it's a comedy book. It's great, and be learning a lot at the same time. Whales to Whelks and the Beachcomber book over there, they fit in your pocket. So if you're out on the beach or you're out somewhere in the tide pool, it fits right in there. They have this nice cover on them. They won't get ruined in the rain. So a lot of great resources right here for further learning. And then at the end of the day, this is that time, a holiday year, where you may be hanging out with your family and your friends, and after enjoying a nice dinner, maybe you'll get together and play some Scrabble. And rockfish is 1 word, it's not 2 words. So if you're sitting there, go ahead and make a 20-point word score right here and say rockfish, and you may clinch that game right then and there. And if you do, while you're sitting there with your arms folded, just basking in your glory there, and your friends are looking up in the dictionary what the heck a rockfish is, that hopefully you can take that time to say, hey, they have a really interesting story about these guys. I should tell it to you while you're looking it up in the dictionary. And just by passing this on over time and time again is that we can make people care about these animals as well. And hopefully, in my dream world one day, that when the people are at Pike's Place Market, there'll be a magnet of an orca, and there'll be a magnet of a salmon, and and a magnet of a rockfish. So please, that's my hope one day. Thank you so much for having me come out here. It's been an absolute pleasure.